so heavy. It's so heavy, Joe.
I know, rainbows and kittens for Clark.
Yeah. We want that for her.
Remember that one time you got into like the Alley's bunker where Richard was and you got to take one shower?
Yes.
That was fun, and he was cooking. It was very domestic.
It was really, what a simple time.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, in the very, very end, on that island with your friends.
Yes.
I mean, maybe you just hung out and went swimming, smiled a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, but that was the end of humanity, but still.
Yeah.
At least you had each
other.
I think there are many arguments for that.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
We're coming to the end of Conageddon 5.
I know, guys. I'm sad.
I know. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I really have. I always do.
I mean, look, they're all here 5 years later.
No.
For a show you filmed 12 years ago. And look at that, 7 seasons of a female-led badass sci-fi show. I mean, are you proud of yourself and Clark?
Yes, I'm very, very proud. Yeah, and I think like it's definitely taken me some time since the show ended, because I think by the time it ended, we all needed a little breather. We needed a little break, and then like as soon as I had a clear head, I was like, God, I can't believe we did that for so long, and it's touched so many lives. Like it's incredible. It really is.
And how old will Henry have to be before you guys let him watch the 100?
700 years old. I don't know if he. I don't think he'll want to watch it really. But if he does, I'm gonna say like, 14 or something.
Okay, so this is where your mom and dad met. Although you really met when you were younger in Australia, right?
Yeah.
But still, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Or you did a lot of work when you were a younger actress. What projects could you show your son earlier than when he's 700 years old?
Well, I really want to show him Pirate Islands because he could watch that now as a kid's show. It was my first show that I did when I was 11, and it was just about like 3 kids who got sucked into a computer game where they had to fight pirates and find the treasure to get home. And it was really cute, and I want him to see that, but I have looked everywhere. I've been trying to find DVDs of it, and I can't find them.
It's not streaming?
No. And there's no, like there was a version of Pirate Islands, I think, that was made after that comes up on the streamers, but that I wasn't in that one. So I don't know.
Sleepover Club.
And Sleepover Club as well. Yeah, I really want to show him that. But yeah, it'd be cool to watch that with him and be like, that's your mom.
What's he obsessed with right now? Is there a book or a song or a show?
Oh, he loves
Louie.
Pete the Cat. I Love My White Shoes, which I'd never heard of. I don't think that book made it to Australia, or at least it wasn't popular there. But he loves that book, and a lot of people know that series. He loves The Very Hungry Caterpillar, anything Eric Carle, really. He loves, The Very Quiet Cricket, The Mixed Up Chameleon, just all the critters.
Cute.
Yeah, it's very cute.
So he was born in the States, but he has 2 Australian parents. I want to know what his accent is.
It is funny because he's not really like, it's a mix of both. It's here nor there. But he has lately been saying mine, like, which is very Australian. That's mine. And I love it. I can't get enough of it. I'm like, bring it on, baby.
Sort of like, no.
No, he does. He does. Yeah. But then after a day at preschool, he'll come home and be like, no. Or bath. And I'm like, it's bath. So, yeah.
Do you have plans to direct more? Would you like to direct more?
Yeah, 100%. I think like when I did the director's workshop, like the Warner Brothers director's workshop, and was, primed to direct an episode of The 100, there was just some really bad timing and some health stuff that happened, and after that I kind of went, well, maybe it was a sign that wasn't for me, but after, directing some music videos and just enjoying the process so much, I think I'm definitely ready to get back in the saddle, and And yeah, we're writing something right now, Bob and I, another dark comedy. Turns out I'm a little bit twisted.
Why? You weren't on a dark show.
I wasn't on a dark show at all, so yeah. No, I come up with some pretty weird, twisted ideas, and I tell Bob about them, and then he is the one who puts it to paper, and we work really well like that. But this one I will direct, so I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Keep us all posted on your socials about that.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Don't be sick of me.
All right, well, we have a limited time with Eliza, so we have a microphone there in the middle. If any of you guys would like to, any of you all would like to ask questions, line up.
Hi. Go for it.
So,
Just having a cuddle over here.
Monty doesn't have like a crazy amount of screen time, and the relationship with Clark, you don't get to see that much. But in the season where Josephine's in your head, that diner scene with the Christmas lights, that's one of my favorite scenes of the entire show.
Which scene?
The scene where you're like in Josephine's mind space at that diner with the Christmas
Oh,
lights.
that was
and you're chatting.
amazing. Yeah.
So what is the symbolism of Monty, and why is Monty there? Like, what does that mean for Clark?
Wow, that's a really good question. Oh my gosh, I never thought about that. I mean, to me, they were always close.
Yeah.
But I guess you never really, because we were all like.
You could have picked anyone, like it was your mind space.
Yeah, it could have, I've never thought about that. It just made sense
It did.
at the time
Yeah.
that it was Monty. And I had so much fun filming that stuff. But yeah, I don't have an answer. I don't know why it was Monty of all people, but I'm so glad it was because we got to bring Chris back and it was epic.
Can you talk at all about Monty and Clark's friendship?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think now, I should go back and watch the show. I say this every year. I need to go back and watch the show. It's been a very long time. But I feel like they always had a fondness for each other, and there was never, I don't remember there being any animosity between those two. I mean, Monty is a real peacemaker anyway. But I always felt like he had Clark's back, in his own quiet way. He's one of my favorite characters. Yeah.
He didn't trust his child to you.
That's true, so he must have liked me a little bit.
Thank you.
In season 3, there is a very specific episode, which I'm not sure if it was made for Halloween, but it's called Demons. It's something like, it's a scary episode where Emerson was chasing Clark and he gets every one of them until she's the only left. I don't know if you remember that, but...
Yeah, he rounds them all up and puts them in the chamber, right?
Yes,
and then,
yes.
and he's about to push the button.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd just like to know if you remember something about it, if there's any curiosity or something cool about it.
That episode was pretty memorable for me. I think I really liked all that high stakes stuff.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, in the end. After a couple of seasons of it, you get pretty into it. And so I just liked that, I really felt very empowered in that episode. And even though, he does get me in a chokehold and put a gun to my head, she does come out on top, of course, and it was just really, I don't know, it was really fun, and the choreography of it all was really fun, and it was just high energy, high stakes, and I love that shit.
Very cool, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi. First off, I love your dress, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I feel like a princess.
It's amazing. More beautiful dresses in the world. So I have a two-part question. Part one is the serious part. Part two is the funny part. Part one is I was always a big fan of Clark and Murphy's frenemyship. I like to call it them, their constant back and forth. So what was that like as sort of to act that throughout the seasons, and how do you think Clark felt about Murphy at the end?
It was never really I feel like that was not intended from the very beginning, but Richard just made it so easy to you just want to like jab at him, you know? You just want to, you want to punch him in the face. And it was like, it was so much fun. He is such a great scene partner. He gives it his all. He's always so in the moment and with you, like you feel safe working with him because it's like, you know, and you don't get that with every single actor you work with, like, but I definitely felt safe to like, he creates a space in which you can play and be playful and kind of like to have that love-hate dynamic, which is sort of like, I love that stuff, it's great.
Awesome,
So yeah.
thank you. And then my funny question was, as a proud cat owner, if Clark existed in the modern day, what pet would she have and would she be able to keep it alive?
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. If she wasn't in her world, if she was in like this.
No disasters.
No disasters.
The nuclear war wasn't coming again. The cat could live long enough to die naturally.
I think you want it to be a cat.
I want it to be a cat.
Okay. It's a cat. It's a cat, and she can keep it alive. Yeah.
Awesome,
Yeah.
thank you.
I was just wondering, who is your favorite person to work with, or your favorite scene to film?
Oh my gosh, I can't, like, that's like asking me, like, which of my kids are my favorite, you know, like, I only have one at this point, but like, if I had multiple, you can't really, I don't want to, like, single anyone out. I mean, obviously, I loved working with my husband, but there are so many incredible scene partners on that show. We were just spoilt by incredible, talented people, and like, this is such a boring answer, but I loved working with everybody. I can't choose.
How you doing? My question is, how and when did your love romance happen with Bob?
Oh my gosh.
And how did he propose?
Oh, okay. We were in Australia, and we were visiting Bob's sister, who lives in the countryside, beautiful, picturesque, and we were just sitting and like watching the sunset, and like it was just so perfect. And we hadn't been home in a while, and we were like I just said like, oh my God, I could live here. And he was like, we could live here. And I was like, I really want to ask you a question, but like, I don't want to be the one to ask it. And he was like, so I think I know what the question is. And we just kind of like went like back and forth, like just staring at each other like. And he was like, I'm really nervous. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, me too. And then he was like, okay, Eliza. And then another 5 minutes passed. And then he said, will you marry me?
What season did you guys fall in love?
It was after the end of season 6, in the hiatus, is when we kind of admitted our feelings for each other. And,
Awesome.
yeah, and then by the time we came back to season 7, we were like, surprise, world! You're welcome.
Then you shot.
And then I shot him. That was our honeymoon.
Shotgun wedding. Whoever said that was brilliant.
Hi, I wanted to ask if you think, in your opinion, if there's anything that we as fans get wrong or misunderstand about Clark's character.
About Clark?
Yeah, like if there's something you feel like you hear people talk about it and think, that's not really what was going on there. Is there any, and if not about Clark, maybe there's another character you feel people misunderstand.
I don't think so. I felt like, I mean, see, I'm very selective about like, especially online. I'm like very, like I don't read much. I learned my lesson. I don't read much about what people say about characters or myself personally, because it can be a scary place. But everyone that in my orbit and the people that I meet at conventions, I think really understood her, and and sometimes better than I, So it's, I feel like she was pretty well understood. I mean, none of us will ever understand why she shot Bellamy, but
Amen.
And left the book.
Then I guess that's pretty safe.
what's that?
If we understand the rest, I guess that's pretty.
I think it's, yeah. Everyone's been very kind about Clark, and and she did make some very.
But remember, she didn't kill the most people. Bellamy has killed more people than Clark, FYI.
There you go.
They've done the numbers.
Yes.
Octavia.
Clark has never done anything wrong in her life.
What show did you watch? Fair. Fair. Angel.
She's an angel.
She's an angel to me.
Oh,
Great question.
thank you.
Hi, Eliza. I was just wondering if you had any dream roles that you aspire to do in the future or anything like that.
It's funny. After I had Henry, and I've talked about this, but I had pretty bad postpartum depression, and I was definitely in a somewhat of a rut, and I had started having these thoughts of I will never work as an actor again. I was going to go and get a job at the local cafe in Australia. That's how I was I'm just gonna put my resume in and I'll just make coffee for the rest of my life. That's how I was feeling about myself, and I hadn't thought like that ever. Even when I was making coffee, I was I'm gonna be a star. You'll see, you'll all see. So it was, a pretty rough time. And then my manager from the US came to visit Melbourne. So I took the train into Melbourne, and he sat me down. He was like, I don't know who you are anymore. Who is this girl sitting in front of me? And I was like, I don't know, man, maybe it's over, I had a good time. And he was like, you're Eliza fucking Taylor. He was like, this next audition, just I don't know what you have to do, give yourself a good pep talk in the mirror, learn it really well, pick your outfit, take your time, making yourself feel beautiful, and just go for it. And that was my audition for Quantum Leap. And I did, I took his advice, and I also, I went home, and after that, I took the train back to our house, and I wrote he just inspired me enough for me to set out my goals on paper. So I had 2 columns. I had one column for what I need right now, and one that is shoot for the stars, incredible, the best of the best dreams and aspirations. So for what I would like right now, I wrote down a featured guest on a US show. I wrote down how much I wanted to make. I wrote down that I wanted to go to exotic locations, and that I also wanted enough time to spend with my son. And I got Quantum Leap. I got to go to Egypt. So I everything on that list came true. It was wild within a few weeks. And then and so now I know this is a really long-winded way of saying when I looked at my second column, that was blank for a while, because I was what do I want for the future? But for me, I just really want to do quality TV. I realized that I'm really I love working in episodic television, and I put down a max 8-part series White Lotus, or something like that. And I was and I want to be on a show that gets some critical acclaim one day. That's something that I've never experienced. I've never been to the Emmys, and I've never won an award, and that would be really cool. So that's on my big dream list, and that's that.
You can bring Henry on location.
Yeah.
Also,
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Mike Flanagan.
Yes. Please.
Eliza, sorry, really quick. I just wanted to tell you our heart turned out really cute. I just wanted to show you it really
Oh my
fast.
God. Yeah. Let me see.
They did a photo as a heart.
Oh my God, that worked so well. That's so cute. I love it. I've never done one of those before in a photo op. It's awesome.
Hi, Eliza. I'd like to start out by thanking you for playing such a deeply complex character like Clark. This does bring me into my question. So we all know that Clark is not the most morally clean person. She makes a lot of mistakes. She can be extremely selfish and downright a bit mean at times.
Yep.
That being said, I do understand a lot of what drove her to do that. But you as a person, if you were Clark's best friend, stuck on Earth with her, forced to, experience everything that she was experiencing, would you stand by her? Would you still be her friend, or would you be the person that says, girl, you are being a fucking idiot, you need to sit down? And do you believe that she deserved the ending she got despite all of the harm she's caused?
Yeah, whoa. That's interesting, because I think, like, me, I have always, like, I think up until maybe my 30s, I would have been the, like, I'd be scared of her. And I would be like, yep, okay, well, whatever you want to do, babe, I'm happy you're happy, like.
It's your world, we're just living in it.
It's your world, I'm just living in it, so. And I just would have probably been more of a wallflower, but I think me now, I would be like, look, I will help you bury the body, but I'm gonna need a really good reason why you're doing this. Otherwise, it's not happening, yeah. And I would suggest a lot of therapy.
Do you believe that she deserved the ending she got, though? Or do you think it was too kind or too harsh?
I'm always going to be on Clark's side. I actually think that maybe it was too harsh.
At the beginning of the series, you guys were kids.
Yeah.
The 100 were basically children.
They were little babies.
So I wouldn't expect anyone without a fully developed frontal cortex to make
Thank you.
decisions.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so when Clark could not transcend, do you think that was fair or not, and if so, why?
What did she do again? She shot him. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. She yeah. She should. Okay, so I did think at the time that was a little much. Yeah, she did. There was a test, right? There was a test that she could have done, but didn't. She chose to shoot Conageddon. So, I feel like maybe she could have given that a go. And now I've forgotten the question. What did you ask?
Oh, if you thought it was fair if she could transcend. Or
Oh,
not,
right.
and if
Yeah.
so, why?
It was. Yeah. So I think it. I mean, look. I think shooting the guy that was saying you can transcend, kind of rules her out of being able to transcend.
If he hadn't killed your daughter, you wouldn't have killed him.
That's true. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. If he hadn't have killed my daughter, then yeah. I mean, yeah. I understand why she did it. Oh, look, these are hard questions. I feel like, yeah. I mean, I don't think she really wanted to transcend. So, F that noise.
Very mad sister.
Hello. So somebody already asked me a question. I was going to talk about Murphy and Clark's relationship. So instead, I have a totally different question for you. So my favorite thing that got me into the 100 was the found family trope, because it's just so well done, and how they the entire series and how they go. So my question for you is, what is your favorite trope, and
Oh, like of any show?
Yeah, like a mini show, like, because found family is pretty common in a lot of shows. It's usually why I watch a show is if there's a found family aspect. So I'm wondering if there's something you gravitate towards in a show or media.
I mean, so I'm obsessed with Severance at the moment. Like, I think, like, yeah, I do love, and I've never heard that before, found family trope, but that is something to gravitate towards for sure. Like, that is so compelling. And yeah, I would definitely say that, like, I love it when the innies all find each other and work together. Like, that's my favorite thing, and they've just all been put in this.
That is also what I'm liking.
Yes, right, there you go. Cool, yeah.
Found family trope, now you know.
Yes, now I know what it is, and I do also enjoy it.
So you know, your new girl family is a found family as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
I love them so much.
Yes, we know you're obsessed.
Yeah.
Hi, Eliza. So I just have a question on the show. Abby and Clark obviously had a very complicated relationship, but they were also very special to each other. Off screen, were you and Paige close?
We lived together.
Oh, you did?
We did. We lived together for 2 seasons, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it was a madhouse, but it was.
Just because you live with somebody though doesn't mean that you always get along.
Yeah. No, we were very close. I think from the very beginning, like, I remember our first meeting, because we were all staying at this hotel called the Sutton in Vancouver on the pilot, and we were down at the bar, of course, drinking martinis and just like spilling our guts, like, about our whole life stories, and and we connected like that. Oh yeah.
It showed on screen, so.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, we had
Thank
a beautiful relationship.
Hello again. Sorry, I've lost my voice.
Oh, me too, baby.
We all know about your experience with the bear.
The bear, yeah.
When it was behind you. And
yeah.
Was there any other experiences with very not tame animals?
I mean, we had a panther on set.
We tackled the panther, that was fun.
Yeah, we had a panther who was very aggressive, but I never got too close.
What was the one you killed?
The one I killed, yeah. I never got too close to that, but our stunty Heidi did, and she was scared. Like, it was very aggressive. And then also the vulture. There was a vulture in the first episode of season 5 when Clark's out in the desert, like picking. They put like chicken, like raw chicken, in my sleeve for the. Yeah, I was going to say ostrich, no, for the vulture.
It would come to you?
Yeah. Heck. Wow. Yeah, and that was scary as well.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
But there was no other wild ones that came?
No, oh yeah, like actually not planned?
Yes.
I don't, not that I can think of, no.
They didn't have like a moose or something.
Yeah, like what other scary animals are in Canada?
A moose?
A moose?
Have you ever seen
Never,
a moose?
I've never seen one. Never got to see one.
They're huge. Yeah, there's lots. Especially up in the mountains.
Oh, well, I was lucky.
You gotta watch out for those squirrels.
Oh, yeah, I'm allergic to wasps. Or I thought I was, I don't know. I don't know now. I don't want to find out. But yeah, there were a lot of wasps in the early on in our shooting schedule, because it was like spring, I think, and they were everywhere. And oh my God, they scared me so much.
Blooper of you giving us a Clark speech, and you're like,
yeah, I remember.
Your experience with the bear, I was like, you were on the bear? I was like, did I miss that? You'd be great on the bear.
I would love to do that show.
Found family of its own,
Yeah.
effed up way.
Yeah.
So, given that you were not just the lead on a TV show for 7 years, but a female lead, I can only imagine the amount of pressure that comes with not just from the acting perspective, the network perspective, but the public persona perspective, where you have to, maintain a good, relationship and all that kind of stuff. Is that something you would want to do again, or have you checked that box off saying, that's too much pressure for me, make me a second or third, but I don't want to have the pressure of being the face of a show again?
I think I would totally do it again. Woo! I would, yeah. I feel like doing the 100, I learned a lot. I learned a lot of what to do and what not to do. I was I was burning the candle at both ends. I was pretty burnt out. I didn't know how to slow down. But I had, at that age, like at 23, from age 23 to 30, I had that kind of stamina. It was a good time to do it. I think it would be more challenging now having a child, but also a lot less challenging because I just know myself better and what I can do and what I can handle, and I could also advocate for myself more and say I am so sick and I'm about to fall over, I cannot do this scene right now, things that I would have died for that show, and you don't have to. I know that now, you don't have to die. It's just a TV show,
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I asked you this question back in 2019. If you had to build an army and you could choose 5 fictional female characters, who would it be? Last time you answered Sailor Moon 4 times. Yeah. And Raven Reyes.
Oh my god, okay, so an army of 5 female
Yeah.
fictional characters. Okay, so we'll throw Sailor Moon in there.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Jess from New Girl.
She'll be the Murphy. She'll keep you, making you laugh.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I have to throw it out to her because I love her. Who else would I have? I mean, not from our show. Again, Indra. I mean, come on. Alexa. Oh, now I'm just going to start saying 100 characters because now I'm thinking more and I'm like, hang on, how many is that? 4. And one more? Or was it 4?
It was 5.
It was 5. Buffy's a great one. Yeah.
Xena.
Okay, and Xena. That's 6. She's like, I've been waiting for you to say Xena. That's a cool team. All right, I like it. Yes.
Nobody would ever bother you with Xena.
Hi again, Eliza. I know someone already said it, but your dress is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
So your answers from that last question kind of answered my question, but the 100 is often grouped with nerdy interests and stuff like that. Do you have any other nerdy interests outside of TV shows, like video games or movies?
Ooh, nerdy. I puzzle, yeah. I puzzle like Winston from New Girl. No, what do I do? I'm just okay, so I've really just started getting super nerdy and daggy about my my dancing. My dancing with my son. We do it every night. We have a dance party in his playroom, and we put on APT and Pink Pony Club, and he knows all the words to Pink Pony Club, guys. And we dance, and I'm so bad at it, and I look like such a dork, and that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Thank you. You're also, it's not nerdy, but you're training for marathons.
Oh yeah.
And you're running though.
That's pretty nerdy.
You're running.
That is pretty nerdy.
For fun on purpose.
Yeah, for the first time I never ran before.
The Eliza I met 10 years ago did not drive.
We didn't even talk about that.
No, we didn't. But
Yeah.
I met Eliza during the Hurricane Eliza Jane phase. And you didn't drive, and you certainly were not exercising on purpose.
No.
But the modern mom, Eliza, I like it. You're more chill.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hurricane Eliza Jane was basically, because, yeah.
It was a time.
Just leave a path of destruction everywhere I went. I was just like, she knew how to party.
David, you get so mad at Comic-Con parties when I give you water when you ask for a beverage. So I was like, here's some water, mom friend, and she's like,
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, mom Eliza.
Yeah, she's a different beast.
Cheers.
So I'd like to ask you something about something you mentioned in an earlier panel, where you said you used to have a hard time like leaving Clark at the door. So can you describe what that was like more, as well as your process of working towards like not doing that?
Yeah, I mean, playing a character who is going through so many traumatic events on like a daily basis was really, it took a toll on my mental health. I think, I used to think I was really good at separating like character from me. Like I'd be talking like Clark on set, like in a scene, and then I'd be like, "G'day mate, how you going?" Like it was very, I thought that I had it handled. But like coming home at the end of the day and, having like screamed and cried or been tortured or torturing or like, there's a lot. And, like also physically, like just being covered in dirt and like scrubbing away all the dirt and trying to like de-Clark, it was tough. And a lot of the time we didn't have, much turnaround before we'd have to go back and do it all over again. So I just felt like I was living as her basically, and I didn't have a life really outside of the show. Like all of my friends were on the show, and my family were back home in Australia. So the 100 was my life, which was fabulous in its own way, but it was also like, kind of lonely. When I finished it all and the pandemic hit, I was able to really sit with myself and rediscover who Eliza was, and that was that was difficult actually, and like learning how to be in a marriage as well. It was such an important time for both Bob and I, because we had a lot of wounds to heal and a lot of like rediscovery to make, and thank God we did, because it's like we had nothing but time to work on ourselves and our relationship, and now it is the best relationship and we're the happiest we've ever been, and I'm really grateful for that. And it's taught me to separate work from real life. Like I don't think I'll ever go that far down the rabbit hole again. So it was an important lesson.
And one more question is, how did you prepare for acting as Josephine, as well as acting as one person, acting as another, like with the layers?
That was great. It was so much fun. I prepared as like, it's probably pretty boring, but like my whole script was just like notes, like I had to map out the whole journey, like what scene, who I was in what scene, and like I had like a million notes about my, character's motivation, which character it was, if I, it was just notes. It was notes all through my script. And I remember coming to work one day, like early on, when I think it was the first time I was going to be playing Josephine, and we went into rehearsals, and Richard looked over at my script and he went, "Damn, you're a real actor now or something?" Because I never used to have like a fully prepped, broken down script that way. But I had to for Josephine and Clark to like really delineate like the separate characters, and it was awesome. It was such a great exercise, and I'm so grateful for that experience. It was really fun and challenging in a great way.
Thank you.
Dance, be clean and dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have fun and smile.
Before I liked dancing though. I wish I could go back and do that again and be more
painting
nerdy.
dance scene?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
Well, okay, like let's just break it down. I had to learn a song in a language I didn't know. I had to learn how to paint with my right hand. I am left-handed, Josephine is right-handed. And dance, which is something that I'm not good at the same time. And I was so scared. Like I was so nervous. Our first AD, sorry, had to take me out the back when we started because I was like, my heart was pounding so much. He was like, "You got this." I was like, "I don't know," but we did it. I would just do it again and not care as much and like just have fun, you know, because it was a really fun scene.
All right, I think we're gonna give you a fun question.
Okay.
All right, so it's a romantic comedy, all right? The lead character is Eliza Taylor.
I love that.
All right. The love interest is a character from The 100. All right?
Oh.
So, you got the script. Whom is Eliza Taylor dating from The 100 in this romantic comedy?
Character?
Yeah.
Is Eliza Taylor not Clark though?
No, it's Eliza.
It's Eliza
It's
Taylor.
Eliza.
Why?
Hi, handsome. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, sweatpants.
Still working?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I was just told to wrap it up, so we'll do this question and wrap